Hello my friends, new video today. This time we're going to be talking about Heroes and Empires, which has been quite a while, honestly, if I were to consider only the videos that talk about the game itself and or the token and how it has been evolving so far. Let me just quickly get the token up here as well. It's not really going to be much about the token and more about the game itself, since I've gotten your recent comments, especially on my staking updates, that you would like to receive a new update on the HE project itself. And I decided to pretty much sort this entire video into three different perspectives or three different views on the project itself. Basically, dividing my points into the good things, the bad things, and the kind of ugly ones that no one really dares talking about. So, first of all, let's begin. Heroes and Empires has been around for pretty much 1 year. That's why we're currently having the 1 year anniversary event in the game. Won't be discussing that much about it, but I think it's all around a pretty solid event in general. So, what do I think is good about the game in comparison to its initial states throughout the year and basically throughout its entire development? So basically, the good things that I really value about the project is that it hasn't just been this project that was very has been the same. It's been changing throughout its entire development, which I deem as a very good thing, and I think the developers did a very solid job on that. That's for the good side, and of course, I also think that they managed to stabilize the economy to a certain degree. But of course, there are also some downsides with this. So first of all, the economy is quite stable, but the problem right now that we're having is that the player base has pretty much been declining ever since. Uh, so first of all, let me just check how its recent data is. So the recent data that we just got on the 31st of October has been that the recent gamers, basically the average daily active users, that's, to me personally, that's the only important number, which has been around 3,400 at the 31st of October. And if you look back about a month, let's check the 26th of September. Back then it has been 3,600. And let's go a bit further once again. Let's say end of July. That has been 4,200 gamers. So you can see, if we go even further back down for the last number, basically, let's go a couple of months back. Let's just say, yeah, let's say May. So 9th of May, we had 7,756 active users. So you can pretty much say that within a matter of 5 to 6 months, the Heroes and Empires community lost half of its player base, or its active daily player base. And that has plenty of reasons. So, first of all, the mistake that was made, or that has been happened, is that when the token project was first introduced, there was a huge hype about it. Many crypto influencers boosted the project, like with thousands and even hundreds of thousands of followers. Made videos about it. You can make 50,000 euros per day, stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about if you've been in there back then, which highly boosted the project way over the top, just for it to be sold off right away, since you could get lots of in-game rewards, and the developers didn't expect the people to just cash out right away or make a lot of second and third and fifth and 10th accounts. So it was all a bit wonky. The whole guidelines were not that good. So what happened was pretty much that the project was drained through bots and stuff like that. So that's how we got from a valuation of like 32 cents per token to pretty much like 20 to 10 cents. It's really hard to tell at which point the bots have left the game, or at least where the bots have significantly reduced down. So that's pretty much the time where we got to a very low point already, which is like pretty much 10 cents. But then there happened a huge change. The developers changed their schedules. They changed how you can earn the token in the game. It was a lot harder to earn it. You had to win arena battles. You could only get it through like maybe dungeons and stuff like that. So all these things were changed up a lot, and then pretty much we lost lots of those players who just sticked around to earn a lot of money. So they cut their losses, and pretty much the token project went down once again, which was followed up by a small recovery. And then what we've been seeing is pretty much a bleeding out situation over the recent months. So, wait, can I want to pretty much get out this so we can get a better look from like February to November, which is honestly the longer run anyway, but it should be a bit more precise when we're talking about the project. So as you can see, pretty much you can see how the player base or the active player base affects the valuation of the project, the token price, and of course the economy as well. With less players, naturally, the players that stick around are usually those who have already great heroes or who are well off in the game. That also makes the game itself more competitive, and weaker players, quote unquote, having a harder time as well. So that made it a bit harder to find an entry point in the game for new players. So that's obviously a bad thing. But at the same time, the economy right now looks very stable. I have to say that, of course, and that's a very, very good thing. However, the bad thing is the project itself, even though it may look solid, if you just look at the numbers, just look at the market capitalization and how it's been evolving ever since, you may not want to invest into it. You may not put your money in this. You may just want to think, no, maybe I'm not really earning anything, or maybe I'm just gonna lose everything. Maybe it's a rug pull. I don't know. Since it just looks like it's been drained, or that it's been going to almost zero. Like if you just look at the 1 year chart, pretty much the entire time the game has been around, it just looks terrific. When you just see, oh, it's had its ups and then it's gone down to almost zero. Like it just looks like it could be a shit coin that has been pumped and dumped, right? If you don't really have been into the game, or if you have no clue about the project, and that's obviously an important factor. However, at this point, I have to mention something good as well. And the developers, they changed the exchange system in the game, where pretty much the entire usage of HE has been swapped, and it has been exchanged with jewels, so you can do all the important things with jewels in the game. But so now you would think, okay, maybe HE isn't like the HE token isn't really good anymore. Now I have to sell everything since it's worthless. No, it's not, since you can actually exchange your HE for a jewel, which can't go under a fixed amount, which is actually a pretty good way to fix the HE price in a certain matter, or to pretty much stabilize the value of HE, and it has been working quite well. Not too sure about the sell-off right here. It's been pretty much going flat down from 0.7 to 0.4, so there must have happened a huge sell-off in that second minute. I don't know, maybe a huge whale that has spawned previously into it just to sell it all at one point. Looks very unnatural, so not quite sure what happened there, but I'm not going to comment on that one. Other than that, if I just look at the price, in connection to the player base. That's actually a very, very good development since, as I've told you before, the number of people playing the game shrunk during that time, right? Like, if you look at was it like November? No, May. I think it was May. Yeah, May, June. Just see again. 1 second. Yeah, so May was like 7,000. June had like 4,500. So that's a pretty stable point. So let's go to June. So when we look at the June levels and the current levels, it's not that far off if you compare it to the player base. Like, back then we had about 4,500 players, and now it's about 3,000. You can expect that there were lots of people selling the HE that they got from the arena rankings. So if you just look at it from the play to earn perspective and the sustainability perspective, it actually looks quite stable, from this view. Personally, for me, it's important that a crypto project doesn't really turn into a pyramid scheme where you have to find new players to join into the game just for the token price to remain stable. And that's pretty much what we've had in the very beginning, of the project. The entire HE community relied on new people joining the game, buying more heroes in order to stabilize the token price or even encourage a higher token price. But like once everyone has had their heroes and wanted to profit off of it, it just meant for the token price to fall. So that's pretty much what has happened. And of course, we still have people who just want to make some money with this, which is actually perfectly fine. Investors exist. I myself am one, and I don't really criticize them. So that's a good thing in general. However, a project can't survive if there's like 100% investors and 0% players. So in reality, it should be around a 10% investors and 90% player perspective. That would be a really, really helpful project, or a project that can actually develop a great token development, which doesn't just stick around or float around, but also rises long-term wise, right? Like that's what you would want in general. However, that's a very unrealistic thing to ask at the current crypto market state. However, that's what I would want in the very, very future. Not just for this project, but like for all projects in general. I mean, it's the same for, let's say, Illuvium. I don't really want a project that skyrockets and dumps down because people want to grab profits. I would much rather prefer a project that starts off slow, maybe has its ups and downs, maybe does a times 2, a times 5, or whatever. But I really want to see that slow but steady increase over the years, which is pretty much determined by the real gamers, the real players in the game. And that's also the point where I must criticize the Heroes and Empires team or the whole project, since from the very beginning, and I've been there for quite a while, they've been advertising the game as something that's going to be developed, changed, of course. That was all pretty transparently made, if I were to compare it to other crypto projects. However, they didn't quite fulfill their promises in a way that was added to the marketing value. Since to me personally, it felt like we had huge marketing done at the very, very beginning when the project was still in beta and when there was a huge crypto play to earn hype, which is fine. Um, but honestly, afterwards, it didn't quite feel that the project had its support, marketing wise. And that's not just something I felt, I feel it's really there since you could have imagined that when the game was released, which happened, I think, around May, not too sure about the date right now, um, but it didn't really feel that it was that supported or that it was having any kind of marketing other than in the crypto range, right? Like, if I'm saying marketing, I don't mean marketed to investors, to people who want to put in money but like earn more out of it. I mean marketed to people who are actually um, playing the game as a way of having fun, as maybe spending some money on gems, the in game currency, to boost their heroes, which will eventually be maybe reinvested by the team into further HE, or maybe have people buy HE to invest into the HE token, but not into future wealth, but like future fun. Like maybe buy some HE to get heroes, have some fun in the game, reach the ladder, and maybe get a small cashback or something, right? Like, not really people expecting to earn more than what they spend. And that's pretty much what has never really happened, even up until now. Um, that's something you should know from a mobile gaming developer's perspective, since they have had experience in the mobile gaming market, especially with their former games. They pretty much have had a game such as Heroes and Empires, which was non-blockchain beforehand. Now it has pretty much fused with that game, so now it's like a hybrid. You could say that both games have fused into one, since this one, Heroes and Empires, turned free to play pretty much. And I expected them to do a lot more marketing wise. I expected them to play out ads on other mobile games, maybe boost themselves in the Play Store, maybe play out, I don't know, TikTok ads or something. Basically anything that would like attract other gamers and maybe spread the word on the gaming market. Since right now, if you just look at the crypto gaming market, if you, I don't know, look up earn crypto or crypto gaming on the Play Store, stuff like Heroes and Empires, I don't know, they just don't show up. You may find games that are ridiculously overpriced that you can play on the Play Store, and where you have to spend like 100 euros to get like 10 cents worth of NFTs. And I feel Heroes and Empires would play a huge role there, since it's actually a quite fair game. If you put in a decent amount of money or a small investment, basically, you can actually not just have a lot of fun, but also make use of the game in an arena terms of perspective, where you can actually earn quite a bit of HE back, or that you could either use to boost your team further, or cash out a little. You may not just triple your investment or double it, you may just make a small amount back, but if you compare it to the current mobile market, where you have to spend a lot and get nothing back, or just tiny fractions of virtual NFT chances, I don't know. It just feels like Heroes and Empires can provide such a great deal. And that's where I find the HE team doesn't really do their best. Yeah. So that's something I personally feel they could do better, to answer you guys' questions. And I've got lots of questions from you guys. What could the team do? What could be adjusted? What could be done? And of course, another bad thing, obviously, but that's nothing they can really change, is that they will be burning, or are burning, through quite a bit of money, since they have a pretty decent development team. Naturally, they need money to future development of their games, their future games, stuff like that. And that's of course going to drain their money pool as well. I think they've made a post about this not too long ago. You can check it out in their Discord. I do like how transparent they are about this, and it's quite obvious that they have to burn through some money, and that it's a risk for them too. So, personally, my opinion, in short, in conclusion, the game itself turned out quite well. It has been pretty stable economy-wise. The only real downside is that the player base has declined, and right now it doesn't really look like it's a hugely living project. If you look at the token, if you look at the player base, it looks a little bit dead. Naturally, that's not the case. You can see there are many recent updates. It's done in a quite a cool fashion, actually. I like how they are transparent with the player base as well. So that are all very good things, but they really need to do something about the player base. If they were to do that, I'm pretty sure the token can see. I don't want to say new heights because that would include this huge amount right here, but I'm pretty sure it can reach heights of a couple cents again. That's definitely doable for the project. However, they would definitely need some work done in terms of marketing, actual marketing on the mobile gaming market. If that's not done, it's not really going to look much better, honestly, since they won't just appear magic players out of the internet. They're gonna go in here, and investors are usually not looking for a project that looks like this, right? So obviously, that's a small red flag for them. Maybe not just a small one, a big one actually. But I'm just saying it's a small one since I know the project better, and I'm being invested with not just my money but also my heart in this. So that's something to keep in mind. Anyway, this video happened to be a lot longer than I wanted it to be. Probably since I discussed a lot more points than I actually needed or wanted. Um, I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Maybe you are not invested anymore, maybe you still are, probably are, since you're watching this video. Either way, I would very much cherish your opinion, and let's discuss in the comments as always. Anyway, that's it for the video. Thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.